Well, hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be working on Chapter 3 in the book, Eat That Frog. So thank you for joining us again. I hope you're making progress. We're going to review where we should be at and review some of the things we've talked about in Chapters 1 and 2. So I'm going to jump back just a second. And I wondered if you all worked on this Wheel of Productivity. I know we did our face-to-face meeting last week, and it was interesting to see how people spent their time. So if you haven't done it, if you need a copy of this, I'll be glad to send it to you, and just kind of a way that you can really look at what you're doing with your time. So let me know if you either did it or need a copy of this and I could send it to you. So let's move on. We are right here. So what was your homework? Keep working on those goals. Some people only had a few, which that's okay. Make sure those are written down and share them with at least one person. That can be a family member, staff person, a friend. Share them with at least one person so they can help keep you accountable and support you. We just talked about how you spend your time worksheet. Make sure that you've done that so you can just kind of see what you're doing with your time. In Chapter 2, we talked about your 24-hour list. What do you do in 24 hours? And then we talked about with your goals to prioritize those in what's most important and then sequence them in what order. And so that's really important, particularly with the concept we're going to talk about today, the 80-20 rule. So encourage you to keep working on those goals and sharing those goals and making your little baby steps under the goals or sub-goals and really working on those every day, keeping those in front of you. So one of mine was to get my house ready to sell, and I did that, and it's on the market, but I had to take a lot of steps to get there. So that's kind of a big thing, I guess, but would love to hear what yours are. So email me or stop up and share those with me if I haven't talked to you about your goals yet. So let's see what we're doing today. We are applying the 80-20 rule to everything. So follow along in your books. We're in Chapter 3. And kind of the theory on this is the number of tasks versus the importance of tasks. So when we did your sequencing and your prioritizing, you know those big goals that maybe we call Eat That Frog, right? The biggest, hardest goals are the things you want to really keep in focus to work on. So you want to put 80% of your time in accomplishing your big goals and only use 20% of your time to accomplish those goals that aren't your priorities. So I don't know if you've ever heard the 80-20 rule, but it's pretty cool. And I have a little video that I found on YouTube that I want to show you. But I hope that you're reading in your books about this. It's really important, again, when you're prioritizing your goals, setting your timelines, setting your deadlines, whatever you're doing for yourself. It's important that you remember that 80-20 rule. So I hope you're reading about that. And basically it says you focus on activities, not accomplishments. So you're focusing on those activities underneath your goal that are getting you closer to that big goal. So you can eat that frog, which is the hardest, most tedious, scariest goal, maybe the biggest goal. And if you focus on those activities within that goal to get you there, again, you can bite off those small pieces and you can work on the bigger goal. So kind of an interesting concept. And then the other part of this Chapter 3 is to motivate yourself. How are you motivating yourself? We've got a couple people that use apps. They use apps to motivate themselves. They get those daily reminders or hour by hour, whatever it is. So how do you do it? How do you motivate yourself to reach your goals? And I'd like to hear from you. I think that's really individualized for each person. What may work for someone may not work for you. But in a couple of weeks, we're going to get together with the folks that are using the apps. And some of my friends that I've talked to here at OHFA that use different things to stay on track. So we're going to do that together. So pay attention to that. And then this is a little YouTube video, and I'm going to try to see if we can pull this up and show you this.
So in 1906, Italian economist Alfredo Pareto found that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Now this 80-20 distribution became quite famous for occurring over and over again in many scenarios. For example, about 20% of the world's population control about 80% of the world's income. You wear about 20% of the clothes in your wardrobe about 80% of the time. About 20% of a business's customers account for 80% of their complaints. This is known as the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. Now, as a note, this shouldn't be taken as some sort of universal law that occurs in all situations. Exceptions can be made, and one should always be critical. With that being said, it's an extremely effective tool to analyze your own life and be more productive. Let's look at an example. Imagine you have a daily to-do list with 10 things to do every day. Using the Pareto principle, you want to figure out what are the 2 most important things that will give you the majority of your results. And once you figure this out, you want to spend 80% of your effort on these 2 things and the rest on the remaining 8 things to do. This means that even if you don't manage to complete most of the things you wanted to do, you at least get the important things out of the way. The concept is very simple, but the ways you can apply it are endless. The point here isn't the numbers, but rather to simplify your life and focus on what truly matters. You know someone who needs to improve their productivity? Share this with them and give us some love by hitting that like button. And if you want to see more, just subscribe.
So I don't know what you thought about that, but I thought it was pretty cool. And I like to use videos as a way to, as a reminder to keep me motivated. So we're moving on, I think.
Your results. And once you figure this out, you want to spend 80% of your effort on these 2 things.
Okay, I want to close that out. Yep, there we go. Sorry about that. So the next thing is you're going to go on page 24, and there's some homework on there. And I'm going to pull my book out, so I'm right with you. So under the homework, you're going to make a list of all the key goals, activities, projects, and responsibilities in your life today. That's a big list. Which of them are or could be in the top 10 or 20% of the tasks that represent or could represent 80 to 90% of your results. So read that really carefully on page 24. And then number 2 is resolve today that you're going to spend more and more of your time working in those few areas that can really make a difference in your life and career, and less time on lower value activities. So I hope this is a quick one today, but I'm off to a meeting, so I want to make sure I checked in with you guys. So do your homework. Stay on top of this, of your goals. I think you can do it. Do your homework for today, and next week we'll be doing chapter 4. So you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.